It's Ash from Super Videos, back for another live stream Q&A video. This is going to be my QA for The Walking Dead, the season finale of Season 8 of The Walking Dead, Episode 16. So from Episode 15 going into 16, the discussion for that, as well as the premiere of Season 4 of Fear the Walking Dead. For the crossover, of course, that's going to be our main discussion, as well as just in general what we're going to see in Fear the Walking Dead. So this is basically just a big discussion on this big event that's going to happen, which is the finale of Season 8 of Walking Dead, and then going into the premiere of Season 4 of Fear the Walking Dead. So as always, we're going to have our live stream Q&A, so you guys can ask questions in terms of both Fear and the Walking Dead, in terms of this big event that's happening, and also about the separate episodes as, separate discussions as well. So with that being said, let's just wait for more people to show up and ask questions. Ronnie Thomas is already here. They ask, "Hi Ash." "Hi, how are you?" So that's not really a question. That's my bad. I thought it was. Next we have Ratchet the Awesome One Q&A. "Hey, do you think Eugene will die in the Season 8 finale?" I think there's a possibility, but there's also set up for him to redeem himself. So either they're going to have to kill him, or they're going to have to do something for him to redeem himself. And at this point, the only way for him to redeem himself is to sabotage the bullets in some way. That's, I think, the only way for him to redeem himself at this point. But if they don't want to have Eugene be redeemed and not have that kind of story arc for him, they could definitely kill him off in the finale. And if they're going to do it, the finale will definitely be the best time to do that. Ronnie Thomas, "Do you think Eugene will betray Negan or not?" Yes, as I said, there is definitely a possibility. I think it's 50-50 at this point. They could go either way. But there's definitely that possibility of either killing him or redeeming him by having him sabotage the bullets and betray Negan. Ronnie Thomas, "Do you think Maggie will die?" I don't think so. I mean, if they're going to kill Maggie, then we're going to have to start getting concerned about where the story is going, because first they killed off Carl, which means that a portion of the future storyline is going to be remixed, or have to be remixed, and there's going to be elements from the future storylines that are going to have to be changed. They are not going to be able to do them with Carl not being there. And if they're going to do the same thing with Maggie and kill her, then that's going to add more to that. So that raises a lot of concerns regarding what they're going to do in the future in terms of how they're going to pull off some story arcs, and also if they're gonna completely be separate from the comics from now on and do their own thing, or whether they're gonna stick to comic material. Ronnie Thomas, "For you, who will die?" So for the finale of Season 8, who I think is gonna die, most saviors, I would say, yeah, most saviors. The top would be Lara, Arat. Yeah, those are the top two that are most likely gonna die. Then from there, from the survivor side, I think Tara is up there, Eugene is up there, kind of. But other than that, yeah, Father Gabriel is another one. But other than that, yeah, I don't think that there's gonna be any other big death. I could be wrong, but the way this season has been going, I don't think that we're gonna see another big death. Ratchet the Awesome One Q&A, "Hey, if Eugene dies, who should kill him?" If Eugene is to die by the hand of a survivor, I would say probably Rosita. If he's going to die by the hands of a savior, then I would say either Arat or Negan himself. Ronnie Thomas, "Do you think Daryl will kill Dwight?" Not in the next episode, but maybe in the future. Maybe. But not in the next episode. Very unlikely. He's already captured by Negan, so why would Daryl kill him off? You know what I mean? It's almost like he got into that mess, or he got into that predicament situation because he was helping you guys. So why would you want to kill him? So it doesn't quite make sense for Daryl to want to kill Daryl in the next episode, but later on we could see that storyline potentially. Coldplay. Will Dwight kill Lara if he gets saved? Yes, that's definitely a possibility. I kind of want to see that. If anyone's going to kill Lara, I hope it's Dwight. Ronnie Thomas, if Abraham was alive, how would he react after Eugene's betrayal? He would not be happy. He would probably, tell it to Eugene as Rosita did. Just pure and simple. You are a coward. You are pathetic. And he would obviously do it, or Abraham would do it in a not so nice way. I think Rosita was a little bit nice about it. Abraham probably would not be. He might even beat Eugene's ass a little bit. Ralph Albert, let me see if I am pronouncing that right. Ralph Albertine. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. You say hi. Hi, how are you? Ratchet, the awesome one. Q&A, hey Ash, will Daryl forgive Dwight in the season finale? I mean, they could leave that open, but they could have a scene between them where Daryl says, you're forgiven or something along those lines. But in terms of what I want to see, I hope that doesn't happen in the next episode. There's almost too much going on right now for Daryl to have enough time to think about forgiving Dwight. So I don't think it's going to happen, but it could. Ronnie Thomas, do you think Gabriel will be the one to sabotage the bullets? He could be. He could be. I'm not sure how he would know how to sabotage the bullets in a way that, he knows for sure that it's going to happen. Like, how would he know how to sabotage it? That's my thing. Eugene would, because he's smart. He knows stuff like that. He's clever. But for Father Gabriel, I just don't know whether he has the intelligence, in terms of the technical intelligence, to be able to do something like that. But if he does know something, then yeah, there's definitely a possibility for him to want to sabotage the bullets and for him to actually go ahead with it and do it. Ronnie Thomas, for you, between Lara and Rosita, who's the most beautiful? Rosita, probably. Rosita. I'm getting orange on the stream in terms of the quality. I hope that we don't get shut off here, but if we do, if I disconnect quickly in the middle of the conversation and in the middle of answering a question, I will be back. Just stay on and I'll be right back when it disconnects. I'll have to just restart the stream. But if that happens, don't go anywhere. I'll be back. Ratchet, the awesome one, Q&A. Hey Ash, do you think it's possible Morgan could mention Rick to Madison in Fear the Walking Dead Season 4? Yeah, there is, definitely. I mean, it's just there, right? Why would they not do it? Of course, yeah, I think he will definitely do it. The question is, how would his name come up, and will it be more than just for Morgan mentioning Rick? Would it be more than that? Or would it just end with Morgan saying, yeah, I knew a guy back east, his name was Rick, he went to this war with this big group, and things ended up happening. They could do that, or they could have it be more than just a mention of a name. Ronnie Thomas, do you think Gabriel will die? Yeah, there is definitely a possibility. He's sick. It seems like he's getting into a situation with Eugene based on the promo, and he's just not very well liked between the Saviors. I mean, Negan doesn't really like him. None of the Saviors do, so if he tries to escape, someone could put him down, definitely. He's not a resource as much as Eugene is, so I don't think any one of the Saviors is going to have a hard time just killing him already if he does something to push them towards that. Ronnie Thomas, do you think Oceanside will help fight Negan at the final? Yeah, in the finale, Oceanside will most likely come into play, and I think that they're going to show up just in time to save the day. I mean, I thought they were going to do that in the finale of Season 7. They didn't, and potentially there's another opportunity for them to do it. The thing with Oceanside is that I'm getting kind of burnt out on their storyline. I'm getting tired because they keep trying to get them in. They don't come in. They don't join the war. And their storyline seems to be stretching at this point. I mean, get it over with already. Either get them in or have them just leave or whatever. Just make a decision. That's the only thing with Oceanside. But yeah, most likely they're going to come back in the finale and help. Most likely just in time to save the day. But if they don't come back in the finale, then I would say, what were you thinking to the writers? What was the point of them being in the story other than the whole thing with Simon and going there or set up for Simon and what he did? But even that, the amount of story that they got for that is almost unnecessary if that's the only reason that they were in the story for. Ratchet the Awesome One. Q&A, hey Ash, what are your thoughts on Siddiq? He's a cool character. I do definitely enjoy him on screen. Great actor. And I'm very interested to see how they utilize that character. Because in the comics, he's utilized a little bit differently. So I'm very interested to see how they utilize Siddiq in the TV show version and what they do with him. But definitely an interesting character. Ralph Alberton, do you think... Okay, I feel like I'm pronouncing that name wrong. Tell me if I'm pronouncing it wrong, because at this point, I don't know, because I pronounced it differently the first time. Ralph, I'm just going to call you Ralph, if that's okay. Ralph says, do you think Tara will die? Yeah, there is definitely a possibility that Tara is going to die. I mean, it's difficult to say, because they did have that fake out on her by getting us to think that the arrow that Dwight used was infected. So, for that alone, that could potentially mean that she's not going to die because they already did that, but they could also be doing that to throw us off and actually do kill him or kill her. So it's 50-50, I would say. Just like Eugene. Both of them are 50-50 for me. Ronnie Thomas, do you think Rosita can forgive Eugene? Maybe in the long term, but not at the moment. Not anytime soon. Even if Eugene helps and sabotages the bullet or does whatever to redeem himself and save them, still, I don't think that Rosita is just going to forgive him right then and there. I think it's going to be a process for Rosita to actually forgive Eugene. Ronnie Thomas, do you think Rick and Negan will have a fist fight? For sure. That's definitely going to happen. I mean, everything's been building up to a one-on-one between them. We got something like that in the mid-season finale, the mid-season finale of Season 8, but it was nowhere close as what I actually wanted to see. I want a fist fight between Negan and Rick, one-on-one, much like what is in the comics at the end of the war. So I think that if they're gonna, at least if they're gonna follow comic material, they're gonna do it, and I hope it's as crazy, as intense as it is in the comics. But yeah, I think that it's very likely for there to be a fist fight. I mean, it's been building up to it, right? Ratchet the Awesome One. Hey Ash, you look like Siddiq. Yes, that's been mentioned a few times. Ronnie Thomas, you saw it too, Ratchet? Okay, you're talking about me looking like Siddiq, I guess. Ralph says, just call me Ralph, it's cool. Alright. Thank you for letting me know, because I don't want to butcher the last name. Because I definitely will, because I'm bad with names and everything. Ronnie Thomas, if Maggie dies, will Rick take over? I'm not a big fan of Maggie dying again. I gotta say that. I gotta highlight that. I'm not a fan. I think that raises a lot of concerns. But if she's to die, Rick will not take over. Because Maggie is at Hilltop. Rick is at Alexandria. It has to be someone else. It has to be like Jesus, maybe. But I don't think that Maggie's going to die. I hope not. So, let's see what happens. I don't know why we're all of a sudden talking about Maggie dying. That could potentially be either spoilers or the fact that Lauren Cohan, who is the actress who plays Maggie, didn't sign a contract for season 9. Those are the only two possibilities I see for why we're talking about Maggie's death so much. But again, we gotta wait and see. But I hope that they don't kill Maggie. And one other thing I want to mention before we continue, this live stream is most likely going to be longer than usual, maybe an hour, maybe a bit more, because we're talking about a few things, right? We're talking about Walking Dead's finale, which, there's going to be a lot of questions, I'm sure, about that. But also there's going to be the premiere of Season 4 of Fear. That's going to be a big topic of discussion for this live stream as well. And also the main crossover between them. So this live stream will be a bit longer, or longer than usual. Ronnie Thomas, do you think Carl's death means something to us? At this point, I don't see it. I know what they're going for, and I kind of see it working, but it's just not doing it for me. There were a million better ways to do it than having Carl die, or killing Carl. So I see what they're doing. It kind of works, but there's a million better ways for them to have done the same thing, or for something to have the same effect. So, yeah. I personally would have gone with something with Morgan. I would have gone with something that ties everything together in terms of Morgan saying all life is precious and starting killing people, and then maybe his dilemma there and his kind of mentality back and forth between those, and also Morgan building the jail cell, which they already showed us, and also showing the good saviors, showing that there are reasonable saviors, and also showing us that there's got to be an after. There's got to be a way for the communities to reunite. And all of that could have basically mixed together to give us what we need for the finale in terms of what's going to happen with Negan. They didn't need to have Carl die for that to happen. So, like I said, there were a billion or a million other, not a million, I would say there were a couple, let's be realistic. There were a couple more ways, better ways for them to have that than killing Carl. Ratchet the Awesome One, Q&A. Hey Ash, if Maggie dies, will Daryl take over as the leader of Hilltop? No, I don't think so. Daryl is not leader material. He's just not. Like I said, if, and we gotta emphasize that, if Maggie's dying in the finale, then the very next best thing, or the next best leader at Hilltop would be Jesus. Ronnie Thomas, how do you think the episode will end? Great question. I have no idea. I'm actually very excited to see what happens at the end, how it ends. But probably some sort of reward or satisfaction for us fans in terms of the end of all that war and the end of Negan. Some sort of satisfaction there. And a glimpse, not fully diving into it, but a glimpse of a new tomorrow, of a new beginning, of a bigger, better, and more connected community network in the future. Something along those lines. But yeah, in terms of being very general, that's what I think. I think that's going to be it. And also maybe even doing something with Morgan, right? He's going to be crossing over, so maybe that's where we end, where we see Morgan just going out, and then he's just walking into the sunset. That's it. Maybe that. That's not the best, but that could potentially be, or something with Morgan at least. That could definitely be how the episode will actually end. Ronnie Thomas. Maggie could die in a similar way to Lori. She gave birth to her child and dies. Yeah, possibly, but yeah, I'm not a fan, like I said. Because, think about it. If you kill Maggie, then the whole or most storyline connected to Hilltop will change. If that changes, then there's going to be a few changes that they need to do in terms of the next big villains that are going to be introduced, right? Or, yeah, something along those lines, because there is that kind of connection between Hilltop and the next villains that are introduced. Not necessarily a direct connection, but there is some things that are related in terms of some characters that are at Hilltop. I don't want to give too much away, but yeah, so if they do that, then they're going to have to change that a little bit. And if they change that, they're going to have to change a little bit of the story for the next group that's going to be that are going to be brought in. And that it's like a domino effect. It's going to keep going. So I hope that they don't kill Maggie, because it could potentially lead to a lot of remixes, a lot of changes, much like Call's death will most likely do. Ratchet the Awesome One, Q&A hash. Who do you think should play Beta? Someone that's huge, because Beta is huge. But in terms of a particular actor, I hope that they can play the character well. I really don't have an idea about who could play him, but I hope it's not someone that we recognize from somewhere else, because I feel like that would take away from how much we are, or how terrified we are of this Beta character, how mysterious he is, right? If he's a known character, then what's the mystery? Because there's the mystery in terms of Beta's character, right? So, like, he has the mask and everything, that's what I mean. So, I hope that it's someone that's not too recognizable, because it takes away from the experience, but at the same time, I hope that it's a character that can play the Beta character, or it's an actor that can play the Beta character well. Ralph, could we see a glimpse in the next villain at the end of the episode? I hope not. I hope they leave that for season 9, because yeah, it's almost teasing too much. Like, anything that they do with the next group, it's too much of a tease, right? Because their introduction in the comics is so iconic that they're gonna have to, or it's best to stick with it, to do the same thing. So I hope we don't, because if they do, then their classic great introduction from the comics will almost need to be remixed and changed, and I hope that doesn't happen. Ratchet the Awesome One, Q&A, in the finale, do you think the Whisperers will show up and help the group win the war? No, I don't. That's, yeah, I don't even see how that could happen, so no. No, yeah, that's probably not gonna happen. That's most likely not gonna happen. I don't even think that we're gonna see the Whisperers in the finale first, but yeah. Carl Grimes, rest in peace, Carl. Yes, rest in peace, Carl. And I'm glad that you could join us from the afterlife, Carl, because your account name is Carl Grimes. There's a lot of discussion right now on the finale, but I don't see a lot of discussion on Fear, so I don't know. But I have a question for you guys. Are you more excited for the finale of Season 8 or the premiere of Fear the Walking Dead Season 4? Which one are you most excited for or more excited for? Because for me, it's a tough one. More excited for Season 8's finale, but at the same time, interested for the premiere of Season 4. And yeah, but I'm actually very interested to know your guys' opinions and thoughts about this. Which one are you most excited for? More excited for? Because I see a lot of questions for the finale, not a lot for Fear. So that could mean that you guys are more excited for the finale. But yeah, I just thought I'll put that question out there for you guys. Ratchet, the awesome one, Q&A, hey Ash, if Rick wins the war, will he kill Negan? Probably not, but there's a possibility. I would say there is a less than 5% possibility of that happening, to be honest. But there is that possibility, for sure. Carl Grimes. Hashtag rest in peace. Okay, so that wasn't your question. I thought that was your question. That's part of your account name. So I didn't quite catch that first time. Carl Grimes, hashtag rest in peace Carl, says, The Walking Dead Season 8 finale because I don't really care for Fear the Walking Dead. Yeah, I mean, I wasn't a big fan of Season 1, 2, 3 of Fear, but Season 4 looks good. So, yeah, I'm more excited for Season 8's finale for sure, but I'm very, very interested for the premiere of Season 4 of Fear as well. Ralph, how do you think Morgan will leave to go to Fear? I think Henry's transformation has got to be the breaking point for Morgan, for him to want to go after the war. Because, think about it, what he did was bad enough or dark enough for it to move a pure character like Henry into the dark side a little bit. And I think that Morgan is going to feel responsible for that. And he's going to want to get away from all of this, all of the war, all of the killing, and just go. Because in his opinion, if he stays, there's going to be more villains. There's going to be more bad people. And for him to keep the people safe, he's going to have to kill them. He's going to have to kill the villains. He's going to have to go to that dark side. And if he does continue doing that, if he continues doing that, he will potentially move characters as pure as Henry to that dark side. And the more that they do that, the more that that happens, then the more dark this future becomes. And then at that point, what's the point of surviving? What's the point of being together? Because at the end of the day, everyone's just going to kill each other. You know what I mean? So there has to be a way for them to move forward in peace. And Morgan believes that if he stays, there's no way for that to happen. So, or if he stays, obviously, okay, so let's put it this way. He believes that there's no way that that's going to happen. And if he stays, he's going to have to continue watching and witnessing people close to him die, and for him to continue to have to kill people and continue to influence pure characters like Henry. And I think that that's the breaking point for him that leads him to leave. Ratchet, the awesome one. Q&A, hey Ash, what is going on with Better Call Saul? They haven't been advertising it. I actually don't watch Better Call Saul, so I have no idea. Coldplay, does Eugene betray Negan? Most likely. Very likely. If they want to redeem him, he has to do it. Carl Grimes, hashtag rest in peace Carl. Do you think Rick will keep Negan locked up? Very likely. Yeah, very, very likely. That they're going to follow comic material on that. As we're talking about this, one thing I do want to kind of bring up here again, I did a standalone video on these pictures, especially this one or specifically this one as well, for the finale, but I just think it's an interesting kind of thing for the finale, for them to be doing. And I do want to pull the picture up here and show you guys so you guys can just share your opinions about it, because this picture alone gets me very excited for the finale as well. So I'm just going to share this picture with you guys here. I've shared it before as a standalone video and talked about it, but I do want to kind of show you guys or bring it up here as well. Just give me a sec here to bring it up here. There we go. Where can I put this? Let's put this here. So, what are you guys' thoughts on this picture? Of course, it's a flashback of Carl and Rick, Carl as a kid, but what do you guys think about this? Because I'm actually very interested about this picture here. But let me know what you guys think. I'm going to continue reading the questions here. I lost the chat here. There we go. Carl Grimes, rest in peace, Carl. I knew it would be that picture. Yeah. Ratchet, the awesome one. Q&A hash. What do you think happened to Proctor John, Crazy Dog, and Walker? I don't know. I don't think they're going to be in season 4. I think they just left, right? So either they died and they're going to reveal that through flashbacks, or they're alive. But I think they're dead and they're going to reveal that in flashbacks. At least Proctor John. I don't think Proctor John is going to be alive. But Walker and Crazy Dog might. And they might potentially come back later on, but not Proctor John. I think Proctor John is definitely dead. Now that I have this picture up, let me pull up another picture that we could also talk about. And you guys can predict what picture predict what picture I'm going to be pulling up again if you want. I'm running out of room here. I don't know where I'm going to put this, but let me pull it up first. And this is a huge picture, so let me just make it smaller here. It's a way too big picture. It's too big. Wow, this is going to take... How big is this picture? Almost there. There we go. Alright. Let's put this one here. Yeah, so these are the two pictures, guys. Yeah, there we go. And let me bring the camera here. That's better. Alright. PGN Vlogs. Will Negan die? Probably not, but there's a possibility. Carl Grimes. All I can say is I think this is a flashback before the apocalypse and we will get to see Kid Carl. Yeah, that's definitely the case, but what's going to be the significance? For them to be doing this flashback, it's got to have some sort of significance, right? So what is that significance? That's what I'm mostly excited to see. And how are they going to pull it off? Of course, it can't be Chandler Ricks. So do they do CGI or do they just show him from the back? Those are the two main things that I'm interested in. PGN Vlogs. Why is Carl still in the actors thing? He's dead. Which actors? You mean in the credits? If he is, I haven't noticed, but if he is, that's interesting. Definitely. Carl Grimes. Carl Grimes, hashtag rest in peace, Carl. I think Dwight will die. All I have to say. Yeah, there's that possibility, but I think there's better story for Dwight if he stays alive, for sure. Alright, I'm gonna take these pictures away since you guys know which pictures I'm talking about now, because I'm running out of space here. Alright, now we are back here. Yeah, so those are two very interesting pictures that I saw. Obviously, the one with Dwight, we did see him wearing that in the promo, but, you know, it's definitely an interesting part for the finale, in my opinion. Carl Grimes, rest in peace. Carl says, I hope Eugene dies, and I think Negan is kind of becoming the governor. Yeah, I could see why you think that, but there's no way, or I don't think Negan is as dark and twisted as the governor was. He is, but not to the degree of the governor. PGN Vlogs, do you think Heath is still alive and Michonne's son? I don't think so. I think Michonne's son died in the show, so no for Michonne's son, but Heath, yeah, he's still alive. The question is, when is he going to come back? That's the main thing. But he's alive for sure. We never saw him die, right? And if he's dead, then they could have just killed him off when they had him leave, right? What was the point of that if they're going to just kill him? Or not bring him back and say he's dead? So he's most likely alive. Now that we are talking about Fear and The Walking Dead and this crossover, I do want to pull up another picture here, the poster for this Sunday that they have advertising this big crossover and the two shows being on the big screen and everything in theaters. And I think that this poster is actually pretty cool. So I do want to pull that up and kind of show you guys and for you to share your thoughts on that as well. The picture is on the thumbnail of this video as well, but I do want to pull it up as well. So yeah, this is the poster here. Let's put it here and let's bring me here. There we go. Yeah, so it's a pretty cool poster. Of course, Morgan is at the forefront, at the center there. We have everyone there. Nick is not there, which is interesting, but all of the other main characters are. We have Alicia, we have John, we have Naomi, we have Strand, we have Madison, we have Alicia, I think, yeah, I mentioned that. We have Daryl, Morgan, Carol, Michonne, Maggie, and Rick. It's a pretty cool poster. I really like it. And, of course, it says Survival Sunday. And it's part of this big crossover. So, it's the crossover poster. PGN Vlogs. Yeah, let me pull this up here. I'm just going to leave the poster for a little bit as well before I move it. PGN Vlogs, do you think... Oh, I just read that. PGN Vlogs. I think Michonne's son is still alive because Michonne's husband was drunk. He could have saw the bite mark and when it wasn't there. I mean, yeah, you could make the case, but at this point, we have to just go with he's dead for now. Carl Grimes. Carl Grimes, rest in peace, Carl. In my opinion, I think Maggie might die. I heard there would be major deaths. I mean, yeah, I've shared my thoughts on this already. I hope it doesn't happen, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. Let's take away this poster as well. There we go. Okay. I don't know what is going on with my camera here. It keeps turning on me. There we go. Why am I not in the center? There we go. Now we're back. I'm gonna stop putting pictures because every time I put a picture, I have to reposition myself here. But going back to the last question, if one of Tara, Eugene, or Father Gabriel, or maybe two of them, or maybe all of them, if there is a death like that, that could potentially be considered a big death, right? I mean, not as major as someone like Carl, Glenn, or Abraham, but it's definitely up there in terms of a big death, a major death. So if there is talks about a major death in the finale, it could be one of those as well. PGN Vlogs, do you think Fear the Walking Dead and The Walking Dead will do a whole crossover and become one team? No, I don't think so. I think they're going to stay separate. They might do something where one character goes from one to the other from time to time. Something like that. Carl Grimes, hashtag rest in peace, Carl. Did you know Carl's death music when, like, he saw he was bit? It was in season 3 or 4, just kind of different. No, I didn't notice that. I'm sure they do reuse music that they've used before, right? So I'm sure it's not something new, but yeah, I didn't notice that one. Ralph, do you think Henry will take the place of Carl when the new villains show up next season? He might potentially get parts of Carl's story or parts of where Carl does something or says something, but I don't think he's going to be the next Carl. I don't think so. And that's assuming he stays alive, right? Assuming he makes it out of this season. One other thing I forgot to talk about. I haven't got a chance to do the review for season 8, episode 15 yet, but stay tuned. I will most likely post that either tomorrow or tonight, so stay tuned for that. But yeah, I don't think that there's any other videos that I'm behind on. I think I have everything before the finale, so yeah, stay tuned for the review for episode 15 though. PGN Vlogs, do you know when... Wait, what? Do you know what the new villains are going to be? I heard it's a group called the Whispers. Yes, I do. They're the same group from the comics. They are called the Whispers. Not to go into too much detail, because I don't want to spoil it for non-comic readers like yourself, and for TV show only... Yeah, I don't want to spoil it for TV show only fans. But yeah, the next group of villains that are going to be coming in are called the Whispers. And they're different. They're unlike any other villain you've seen so far in the show. So, yeah, very excited for the group as well to show up. All right, I'm gonna take a 5-minute break here. I'm just gonna go get some water. My throat is dry and everything. So yeah, I'll be back in like 5 minutes. So yeah, I'll be back. All right, I am back, guys. That was less than 5 minutes, but where did I leave off? PGN Vlogs. Then what happens to Negan in the comics? You'll see. You'll see in the next episode, most likely. Yeah, so I don't want to say it because I don't want to spoil it for you. So watch the next episode, the finale. You'll have a pretty good idea what happens to Negan in the future, based on next episode, I think. Ralph, who would win in a fist fight, Rick or Daryl? They already had a fist fight, right? In season 8, I think, yeah. They had that fight. And I think Daryl was the winner there, right? So maybe I would say Daryl, yeah. Daryl. Based on that fight that we saw in season 8. So, what do you guys think of the crossover? How do you think it's gonna happen? Let's take a poll. Let's do this poll here. Do you think that the crossover is going to involve Henry and basically what I said about Morgan wanting to get away from it all and feeling responsible? Or do you think that he ends up being in a situation where it has nothing to do with Henry necessarily, but he just leaves because he doesn't want to be a part of it, but it's not necessarily related to Henry? Or do you think that he's going to go to the west, or yeah, go towards Texas to find a family member potentially? And that would be the link. Which one of these three? I don't think there's any other possibilities, but if there are, let me know. So yeah, let's do this poll. Which one do you think it is? Carl Grimes, hashtag rest in peace. Carl, I wish he had, or we had Carl for the season 8 finale. Yeah, same here. Same here. Bros are pros says, hey, how are you? I'm new, yes. First time I've heard your name, yeah, you are new. Thank you for joining the live stream. Carl Grimes, hashtag rest in peace, Carl. I think it will involve Henry or the Whispers. Yeah, I'm gonna go with Henry. I think that's a more realistic prediction. I think it'll be Henry. I think Morgan is going to, like I said, feel responsible for Henry's death and want to get away from it all. And that's potentially what's going to get him to want to get away from everything. Dan Lee. Morgan is just crazy. He's just leaving and will end up in the Fear the Walking Dead. Yeah, he is crazy. And yeah, he's going to leave. But the main thing is what's going to push him to want to leave. And, you know, what's going to be his motivation for wanting to go out to Texas? Is it just coincidence that he ends up in Texas and just goes that direction in general? Or is there a reason why he's specifically going there? Ralph, I think another reason for Morgan to leave is Rick keeps Negan alive. I've never thought about it that way. I don't know how that would want to make Morgan leave, because Morgan wants to kill, or... Wait a minute. I think you might be onto something. Because Morgan wants Morgan wants Negan dead. He's just, even in the promo, he says, let's just finish this. So, if Rick potentially wants to honor Carl and keep Negan alive, then that could potentially cause Morgan to have this or for there to be this tension between Rick and Negan, or not Rick and Negan, sorry, Rick and Morgan, which would cause Morgan to want to go. I could see that. They have to polish it up, but yeah, that's actually a pretty interesting idea. I really like that. Very good comment there. Bros are pros. Can you tell me what's going on? Because I just started watching it again. You mean the show? I mean, it's going to be difficult to tell you what's going on. They're at war. The war is about to end. That's what's going on. Coldplay. Name some of the main saviors who are going to die. Arat. Lara. Who else is a main savior that we know? I don't think Dwight's going to die. Negan, I'm not going to say anything about because I don't know. At this point, there's no way to talk about this without spoiling. But in terms of, let's talk about other saviors other than Negan. Let's just leave Negan out of this. Other than Negan, let's say, Arat and Lara. Simon is dead already. David is his name, right? I think. Or something like that. The dude with the bald hair. The dude that watched Jadis as she was pretending to lie dead. He's dead. Jared is dead. Gavin is dead. That's most of the main saviors, right? So these are the main two saviors I can think of right now. Coldplay. Gary did die. Yeah, that was his name. I thought it was David for some reason. Yeah, Gary. That's what his name was. Gary is dead. Yeah. So there isn't too many big major saviors left, right? Oh, there is Regina. That's another one. Regina is another one that will most likely die. So let's look at this. What are the main saviors that we've been introduced to from the beginning of when the saviors were introduced? First, there was that dude, I think his name was Bud, that got RPG'd away with his group of people, a group of saviors. Then, Simon, he's dead. Then Gavin and Jared, Gary, Orat, and Lara are alive. There's Dwight and Negan, of course. Is there any other main savior that's there that I'm forgetting? There's the reasonable savior. I keep forgetting his name. The one at Hilltop, but he's turned good right now. So, yeah, I can't think of any other major saviors. So most of the major saviors in terms of top lieutenants are dead. So, yeah. Damn Lee, will Jadis become Alpha? She could, but most likely not. But if they end up having her become Alpha, it's not like I would be shocked or anything. Because there's definitely some connections, some similarities, right? But there's also some things that don't make sense, don't work out. So they could do it, they could not do it. But if they do end up doing it, they're going to have to explain a lot of things in terms of what or how Jadis is Alpha. You know what I mean? But I did talk about that in my, one of my standalone videos that I did. There's a possibility, for sure. Coldplay. Do you think the Saviors might join the survivors after the war? Join the survivors after war. Some of them, yeah, some of them. Not all of them. Most of the soldiers fighting in the war right now are going to die. There's just no way around it. Just gonna quickly pull up something else here to show you guys another interesting picture for the next episode that was released. I can't find it here. I have no idea where the picture is. Okay. Yeah. Never mind. I can't find it right now. Never mind. But what I do want to highlight is, or what I wanted to say with that picture was how everyone was wearing these, or the survivors wearing this purple armband. If you remember, when the war started, the armband colors were separated like this. Hilltop was wearing green, Alexandria was wearing white, and Kingdom was wearing orange. But now, when the war is ending, we are seeing everyone wearing, or most of the survivors wearing, purple armbands. So I was actually very interested to see what that was all about and whether they were going to explain that. I predict that it's most likely something along the lines of, before they were separate groups, right, fighting together, but now they have this kind of, with this, they're uniting like they haven't before. They are saying that we're in it together, even if it leads to our deaths. We're in it to win it. You know what I mean? So I think that's most likely what it is, but I'm very interested to know you guys' opinions about that. What do you think about the purple armbands that the survivors are going to be wearing in the next episode? And what do you think it represents? Ralph, I hope Jerry lives. I hope so. I really do. As King Ezekiel puts it, Jerry. That was a terrible impersonation of King Ezekiel, but you guys know what I mean. Okay, we're running down in terms of the number of people watching, so maybe we'll go for a couple more minutes, but that's basically going to be the end of the live stream here. A great live stream, definitely. And yeah, I'm as excited about the finale as you can for a Fear and this crossover. But in terms of this live stream Q&A, very cool one, very interesting one. Really enjoyed it, and I hope you guys did as well. And yeah, I'm very excited for the next episode for Fear and Walking Dead. But thank you to everyone that participated, that joined this stream and asked questions. And for those of you that have supported and continue to support the channel by watching the videos, commenting, liking, subscribing, keeping the channel going, really appreciate it. And yeah, in terms of the next live stream, so yeah, we're gonna have another one next week, just like every week. So next Friday, same time, we're gonna have the next live stream Q&A live stream, and that one will mostly focus on after the finale. So at that time, we're gonna talk about the finale, what we saw, and also what we saw with Fear, episode 1, season 4, and make some predictions about the next episode of Fear for episode 2. But those live streams are going to stay there every Friday night, just like this. Also, I will continue doing reactions. So first, stay tuned for my reaction this Sunday for both Fear and Walking Dead, the finale and the premiere. I'm probably going to watch both, react to both, and then post both after. So it might take a bit longer, but I will definitely post them. So stay tuned for that. I will do the promo breakdowns for Fear as well. I won't be doing reviews necessarily, but I will talk about things that I think require some standalone videos, especially the crossover stuff. But I'm not going to do standalone reviews for Fear, but stay tuned for my reactions to Fear going forward. My promo breakdowns for Fear episodes again, just like this Sunday going forward, and also live streams every Friday night, just like this. And last question, Ralph, after the war, do you think Rick will be the main leader between all the communities? He's not necessarily going to be the main leader, but he's going to be the one that holds all of the pieces together in terms of making it all work, in terms of being the middleman between all the different communities. Yeah, so that's it. Thank you again to everyone who participated and asked questions and support people who support the channel. Yeah, I will see you guys next Friday night for the next live stream. Thank you.